Welcome to the New Variety Talk Show here on KWTO 93.3 FM, 560 AM. This is Matt Graham with Springfield First Community Bank, one of the hosts of Who Do You Know in 417 Mo. And I want to say hi to my co-host today. We've got a guest co-host, but I'd like to say first, hello, Jennifer Laney.
Hello, Maddie Graham.
Oh, Maddie Graham.
Maddie Graham.
Now everybody's going to
I just want you someday I get my doorbell knocks. Wait, hold it. Wait. Someone knocks or they ring the doorbell. One of the two.
Either one.
And they go.
Depends on who it is.
And then they say, Maddie Graham.
That's how I introduce myself to a lot of people. It depends on how long you've known me, actually. But
What was that from Saturday Night Live? Candy Graham.
Candy Graham.
Candy Graham.
And speaking of who just
Candy
chimed
Graham.
in, Mr. Ken Childers is here as well. So welcome, Ken Childers.
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here today.
The mayor of 417.
Dun,
the-
dun, 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 dun.
And we'd like to also give a shout-out to Gary, who's not here, who had eye surgery
Gary
recently.
Bingham, and we love you.
We love you. Thanks for hanging in there. We hope your eye gets better with your gas bubble behind it or whatnot. And,
Pirate Gary.
Pirate Gary. Yeah, he came in last week, and he had the eye patch on, and I'm sure you saw that. But poor guy's been through a lot lately trying to get old on us, and now he's had surgery. So we appreciate Gary being a part of this.
He had
Gary,
head surgery?
Keep up the good work. And
You know he did, actually.
Hopefully you it is kind of that.
Well, he had surgery on his head, and so he's
Yeah.
actually in a
theory.
lift right now, he was telling me. It's almost like at a 40-degree angle less than the horizon. I'm totally making that up.
Okay.
But I'm imagining.
I'm imagining like
He
a
said
body
he-
cast and like
Because if he
slings,
wasn't,
Big boy.
slings and
he would be here if he could.
yeah, he would. He came in with an eye patch, and that's hard to do because we made him do the intro with one eye. he had to actually read, which was tough. But every week you're going to find us here on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. on the airwaves. Like I said, it's at 560 a.m., 93.3 FM. If you'd like to listen there, or if you'd like to listen live on our Facebook, we have a really professional videographer here.
Yeah,
that's
we're
gonna
actually
be
on
showing
Facebook
our
right now.
Facebook Live.
If you're driving around in your car and you get home or whatever, just pick up your phone.
Yeah.
You can call in today, by the way. We're going to have a movie review. Has anybody heard about this? Well, real quick, Facebook. Look us up.
Who do you
We're
know?
live. We can wave at you. You can see our stage
You'll see
here.
on hashtag Who Do You Know in 417.
There you go.
That'll
There
be
you
our
go.
watch party.
Sorry, I got excited.
You're fine. No, because we do have a
Brad
cool
Pitt
movie
gets
review
me a
today.
little
We have a local legend,
excited.
obviously, who had a movie that's kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal.
That Quentin Tarantino is the one who directed it. Plus, we've also got who's the other big actor in that one?
Leonardo
Leo.
DiCaprio.
Yeah, kind of.
And Margot Robbie.
Gilbert.
Margot Robbie's amazing.
She's a
actually.
really
You guys just all
really
think
good
she's
actress,
hot.
yeah.
She is really cool.
You
know
she's
you
easy on the eyes.
You know
Keep
when you
going.
fell in love with her. You
All
would-
right. I know. She's got street
Oh my
cred.
gosh,
I, Tanya.
man, yeah.
That was a good
I,
movie.
Tanya was a great
It was
movie.
a great
actually.
movie. Yes.
I, Tanya.
Definitely a different story than I've ever heard
Bingo.
about that. But you can join the watch party. Please comment online. Also be ready to call at 417-862-9977 if you want to chime in on this movie review. If you've seen it, good or bad, we want to hear what you
And
think
that's what
about
I
it.
was trying to say when I interrupted so maliciously a minute ago.
Thank you.
Is
I'm
I'm
used to
sorry.
it. It's fine. I'm
I'm
used to
sorry.
it.
I get
I'm used to
excited
it.
about things. Please call in because here's what we would love for you guys to do. If anyone out there has seen the movie with Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, down at the Alamo Draft House.
Amen.
I think a lot of people have seen it down
Where I
there.
saw it.
It is, yeah. Good.
It's hard not to
good.
go to a movie.
Right.
Did you have the El Royale with cheese?
No, I didn't.
They have a special menu for that movie now.
Actually, not for this one.
Oh, really?
No, they didn't have one. It was for Hobbs and Shaw.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
get
that's
ready
right.
to call in. We
That's
want to
right.
hear your movie reviews. If you have seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you can call us from your Verizon phone. Just type in *56 and call in. I want you to start dialing now because we're only going to be able to take a couple of you people and once you get in line.
Yeah.
We've had a little trouble where we've had several people calling in at once and we
can't
couldn't get to
them
you all.
But that means you also have to keep it
That's a
quick.
good problem.
Yeah, it's a good problem to
Well.
have in radio, but you got to keep it quick too.
Right.
But if you also have any embarrassing stories about Brad Pitt or whatnot, we'd love to hear that too. Right?
Did you know that his sister-in-law threw my baby shower? True story.
Really?
True
Okay.
story.
Nice gal.
I want to give a shout out to Lisa Pitt, who was an educator, and of course she's married to Mr. Doug Pitt.
Wonderful individual.
That is my 3 degrees separation. It's not quite like Kevin Bacon of the 7 degrees. Like everyone somehow
in Springfield. It's hard to get past 3.
There is about a
Three's fine. Yeah.
I think we're all about 3 degrees
at
separated
least.
from Brad Pitt in the Ozarks, wouldn't you say?
I would say
Right.
3.5.
I like John Goodman. Everybody ever remember John
My
Goodman?
parents went to school with John Goodman at MSU, and who was the the other big name actress?
Kathleen Turner.
Kathleen Turner.
She
Yep.
was best
They
friends
were-
with my
They were all in the
step-aunt.
drama department
My
together.
mom's
Absolutely.
aunt or something.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
my mom would always talk about it.
Oh,
Oh, I
yeah.
met her.
Oh no, John Goodman growing up was a big deal in my family that they went to school together, acted together, and all that. So we'd love for John Goodman to call as well if he's around.
I prefer not to engage in conversation during gestation. I find it coarse and vulgar.
Now, while we're at it, let's
Thank
thank
you.
our
That
sponsors.
was my John Goodman
That was
impression.
pretty good, actually. Which is actually really good. Very
Thanks,
throaty,
man.
Very throaty.
Well, you know me and those bananas.
You got to get real low and talk like you got molasses coming out of your mouth. But thanks again to our sponsors. We love our sponsors. Had lunch with one of our sponsors today. I'll give a shout out to Hard Knocks Barbecue, some friends of mine that started that place, and it's phenomenal, by the way. But Jeremy Burcham with Meridian Title and Whiskey River Market down in Ozark. Also Josh Hawkins down there in Clever, or some people call it Cleaver, I hear now, at the Stockpile Gun and Pawn and Antique Shop. So we'd love to have more sponsors as well. We'll see. We'll talk a little bit more about what our sponsors get through all of this. But Jen, do you want to take us to maybe what we're going to be talking about today with one of these new people?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's been a little hard summer for a lot of us. It's been a little
Long.
hot, draining. Been a lot of rainstorms and, I don't know, aligning of the stars. What was that thing we went through not too long ago? The moon cycle crap. What was that called? The solstice?
There's always a
Summer
moon
solstice?
cycle, but yeah, summer solstice was. In
Maybe
June.
I'm on my moon
That
cycle.
happens every year.
And I'm just
Yeah, I was going to say that's every year it happens.
Crappy. Every
Sometimes
year.
it's just a little harder on us than others.
Well, you know, we've got, first of all, Ken Childers, who I really want to hear the movie review. We're going to talk about that. And I'm sure during that period, our front porch interview, Grady Bolin is a guy we have met around town, and it's kind of cool. He has worked out in Mountain Grove for a really, really long time. He's got a company out that way. We're going to hear from Grady Bolin. He has a really cool product that was formulated and developed right here in the Ozarks, in the 417. From the ground up, he recognized a need of his clientele that came to his auto body, auto shop, and etc., that the expense and also just the durability of other products was lacking, and fixed the problem himself. And beyond that, it kind of applies to him as a person.
Yep. There's a lot more to Grady
yeah.
than just the pimp juice. We're gonna know more about this.
Are you
name,
saying
by
that
the
there's
way.
more to Grady Bolin than his pimp juice?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's
There
pretty
has to
funny.
be.
That ought to keep you hooked. Right there.
That's a good hook right there.
There's more to me than my
Which
pimp
is why we
juice.
started this show. I mean, every week we featured locally grown or inspired music artists. We've got international touring bands. We've got local venues. We had the Galois on last week. Amazing, by the way. If you missed that, go check it out on our Facebook page. But we also, want to support everybody in the Ozarks that's maybe started a company, built a company, bought a company, and they want to, have some outreach, but are locally grown people.
Yeah, and every week our front porch interview is all about that. We kind of
Amen.
summarize that with, there's two things we have around here, which is when somebody comes around and knocks on the door. Now, Ken Childers knocked on our door today and said, hey, you guys seen this movie? And then a few weeks ago, Grady said, I invited him to come on our front porch. Grady's such a cool guy with motivational perspective, with accomplishments in his life, and a heck of a story. And so we will formally introduce Grady after the break and bring him in on the front porch interview here on hashtag Who Do You Know in 417 No, and you're going to learn all about who Grady Bolin
Yeah,
is.
feel free to chime in as well, Gary.
Yeah.
Anytime, Grady. It's
His
just
name's
one of those-
Grady,
I didn't
not
call
Gary.
you Gary.
Grady.
You're
Gary's
missing-
usually right here.
You miss Gary.
I know, I miss Gary.
I miss Gary.
Gary's got an
Gary.
eye problem.
Yeah.
Eyes are
Gary.
fine.
Gary
I
is.
see Grady's got two good
He
eyes.
does
got
have
two
two
good
eyes.
eyes.
So you're already one eye up on that one. So at least with Gary. So
Did you say something about pimp juice?
something about pimp juice. I always want to say it
One eye up.
that I am a pimp at some point when I start talking about pimp juice, but you'll find us here every week, guys. We really appreciate you all tuning in. The support we've gotten over the last few weeks has been absolutely phenomenal with all the views we've got on Facebook. We've got our own YouTube channel now.
Yeah.
We've
Well, the
got
reason
a-
I brought up that whole hard summer thing is that one of the last weekends of summer is coming up, and it's been kind of a hard summer. A lot of
That's
people
sad.
have gone out in this heat and partied up, but they're not quite done yet.
Oh, no.
They're like,
Still have
okay,
Labor Day to
Eddie,
go.
Eddie Gamusio was just here. Eddie Gamusio, which
Yeah.
is, he's a high school teacher from Hillcrest, teaches Spanish, but he's also been a super cool musician around town since, I've known him since before I had my driver's license, so it's been a long time.
Super cool guy.
Yes. Grady,
That was not her first car.
Grady, are you revving your pimp juice?
Revving my engine.
That does not.
awesome.
I've
That
got
does.
it under control now.
That does not sound like your Peugeot.
He's
you
having a
had
good
when you
time,
were
guys.
16.
He's having a good time at Who Do You Know.
why we're here.
But the reason I brought that up is that this is one of the last weekends to go and hooten it up. Like, you're going to pack up the cooler,
Yep.
you're going to get the ice, and the place that you want to do that, down in Ozark, Whiskey River Market is a drive-through beer, wine, spirits, gifts. Like, it's a really cool shop. It's hip. It's awesome.
Lots
the
of
prices
local alcohol too.
are and very competitive. So instead of
Oh,
walking
man,
into the
yeah.
big, huge box stores, like Walmart or whatever, go in there and they even like throw in ice for cheap.
They're
And
super fast.
They're
too.
all about each person that drives through personally and getting all that stuff out the door to you and filling up your coolers without you having. And it's right on your way down to Table Rock. You just go down 65, hook a left at the Walmart exit, but avoid Walmart. Because, we've seen those pictures online of the people at Walmart, right? What's your favorite picture of somebody at Walmart? Mine are the
Oh, my
nude
God.
the nude jeggings.
nude leggings.
Yeah, like-
Jeggings? What
well,
the
they're-
hell are jeggings?
They're a mix between jeans and leggings.
Oh,
They're really-
like pajama jeans, but they're really tight. Is that where we're going with that? I see a lot of people at Ozark. I shop at that Ozark Walmart.
Nothing
and
against
nothing
you
against
guys.
Walmart or anything. It's just people love convenience and they love
I think we
going
just-
dressed very conveniently. I guess
There it is.
most PC way I can.
No
put
offense, guys,
No.
but if anyone can see your butt crack, think twice. Just think twice.
it. At least pay attention. To
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody
Yeah.
does.
I mean,
right?
I don't
But
either. However,
I think we all have our own experience with that now. so.
stereotypes are based on fact.
That's why they're, and so are cliches. That's why they're cliches.
Hey, I wish we had like a movie reel that could start playing because we're going to do our very first movie review today, Matt. Can you believe it?
Oh, this is going to be
Maddie
great.
Graham.
Yes.
Maddie Graham.
Oh man, it's going to stick.
The mayor of 417 is sitting to my right. The man with a plan. The guy with a van. The youth of the Ozarks thrift store king.
I don't think he wants to be known as the guy with the van.
A long time ago. Only when I used to have free bumper stickers, and I don't do that anymore. So
And when he
forget
gave
it.
out candy to people just to come to the
See, I
van.
know.
type
Someone else
thing,
messed
you
it
know.
all up for us.
The candy
Guys
man
with gifts
can.
in vans. Yeah, it doesn't work anymore.
The candy man with the van will bring you to your home, or maybe
As
you
long
won't.
as the van has windows, it's not quite a, I can't say that on the radio. Never mind. It's
Got one of
Hey,
those
we've been talking about
heart
butt cracks.
windows
What else
just
we
to-
gonna do today?
There you go, the heart.
Yeah.
And you got the tassels
Yes, I
as
do.
well, like Cheech and Chong
Tag.
tassels. So right after the break, we're going to come back and we're going to do a movie review about the new Quentin Tarantino and Brad Pitt film, which is called
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Amen to that. So as soon as we come back,
Amen to that. You
we're
know what?
going to
I,
hear
you
more.
know what I want to talk about?
I'd like to say that.
I love that your catchphrase comes from the fact of who you are as a person. You were raised by some very upstanding people that did a lot of, I guess you'd say.
He's a pastor.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you
Pastor's
go.
kid. Yeah.
You're a
Mom was a
pastor's
teacher,
Yeah.
So, whenever I say
Amen to
amen to
that.
that, I truly mean it, though.
There's a thing called the linguistic atlas. And what you're saying,
Whoa.
amen to that, means totally, means absolutely, means. And I really like that about you.
Well, it's better than saying
need a bumper
totally,
sticker that says amen to that.
rad, dude. I do say rad.
I say
though.
Roger that.
Roger that. 10-4.
that.
Yep.
Speaking of that,
Victor,
Roger
what's your
that,
vector?
10-4. Everybody's going to go to the Facebook. What's that, Gene? He got it
You
right.
got that right.
Hashtag Who Do You Know in 417Mo is every Wednesday at 3 p.m. We're on Facebook Live now, and we're going to be seeing you after the break here in about, 3 to 4 commercials. We're going to talk to Grady Bolin.
A little bit of sun, then increasing cloudiness as we go this afternoon. The high 88, partly to mostly cloudy. Occasional rain, thunderstorm late tonight. Low 69. Tomorrow, times of clouds and sun. A shower and thunderstorm, humid day, high 84. Periods of rain, humid Friday. Some of that rain could be heavy. Maybe even a thunderstorm that could cause some flooding. The high on Friday at 79. I'm AccuWeather Steve Williams.
It's 83 degrees at AM 560 KWTO.
Through the Grapevine is more than just a wine show, Darren.
Bonnie, we talk about wine, we sample wine, we even sell wine.
But Robert Louis Stevenson said wine is bottle poetry. So not only do we sample wines,
We enrich our minds.
join us at 4 o'clock every Thursday at Brown Derby International Wine Center for Through the Grapevine.
A mind-enriching journey through wine.
Are you giving your Social Security dollars back to the government? It happens every day to people who don't have an effective Social Security strategy. The right plan for accessing your Social Security benefits can mean tens of thousands of dollars to you and your spouse's retirement income. Don't make the costly mistake of being unprepared in retirement. Call Floyd Financial Group now at 877-889-PLAN for a free Social Security optimization report. Take advantage of proven strategies to help maximize your Social Security benefits. You paid into this system your entire career. Don't make the same mistakes that cost people tens of thousands of dollars of their hard-earned benefits. Call Floyd Financial Group right now at 877-889-PLAN and arm yourself with their Social Security optimization report. It's absolutely free. It's easy and could dramatically change your retirement. Call Floyd Financial Group right now at 877-889-PLAN. That's 877-889-7526. Or go online to floydfinancialgroup.com. That's floydfinancialgroup.com.
Precious love, I give to you. You as the sky, deep in the eyes of a love so true. Beautiful face, you make me feel light on the stairs, lost in the air of a love so real. You can count on me.
Welcome back to hashtag Who Do You Know in 417-MO. We are live on Facebook right now, and we'd love for you to come watch our podcast, our live feed. My name is Jennifer Laney. I am the singing real estate agent with Murney Associates, and my co-host is...
Mr. Matt Graham with Springfield First Community Bank, Assistant Vice President of the Home Loan Center at Murney Associates.
We've got a couple of good deals in the chute, a couple of good buyers getting ready to close
Couple
over at Meridian
three.
Title.
Yeah, Jeremy Bertram was excited to hear that we had, at least 3 this month, or August, going over to Meridian Title. Plus, I think I had a couple more, too, for refis.
Well,
so.
once I met them and I met Closer, the French bulldog.
Yeah.
He actually's got really good penmanship when he does the closings. He's, and he makes the experience very calm.
Sweet dog.
Silent, just simple. I got all this taken care of.
He's kind of like a service dog, I compare him to, because a lot of people have a lot of anxiety when they come to a closing table, and he just kind of follows them around and makes them feel good, and then he just hops up in their lap while they're waiting for the documents and things like that. But honestly, I think they have him trained, because as soon as the documents came out every time, he leaves. I'm like, oh, they've got this dog trained.
He's going back to that.
Boring.
Yeah.
It's a signature. Boring.
Yeah, he's like, I'm out of here at that
He's
point.
going back to that Whiskey River adult lounge that's in the back.
They do have a lounge in the back, which is really cool. So oh my gosh, we've got...
Whoa! There's a guy listening. Hey, Larry Perkins, I hear that the Vietnam veteran, the Purple Heart recipient, the man with the voice from heaven.
I thought that was a bunch of people, and it was wrote out.
He's listening.
Larry Perkins. Thank you, Larry Perkins.
Hi, Larry. We should get some people to call in because we're getting ready to, now that we've said thank you to Whiskey River Market, and also do your closings at Meridian Title.
Amen.
You have a lot of choices, but when you're ready to move your family closer or farther away, you can use Meridian Title for the best experience.
And if you have any oddities, antiques, guns, pawns, anything like that, go down to the stockpile in Clever and talk to Josh Hawkins down there. And, yes.
The stockpile is featured on our Facebook page with lots of great videos of he goes to all these estate auctions, and we want to send a shout out to Josh Hawkins today to make sure that you go down to Clever. If you have an uncle or somebody that passes away and there's that storage unit and you find all this stuff that you're like, it's got to be worth something, that's the place to go.
That's the guy to talk to.
Is the stockpile.
Appraisals, all that kind of stuff. He does a much better buy on your gold, silver, precious metals, diamonds, and all that kind of stuff. But
hey,
Quentin Tarantino, I'm a huge fan of Quentin Tarantino.
That's the movie intro. That's our.
It is?
Hold on, we got to come up with a jingle for our very first movie.
You're the
review.
jingle person.
So there was Siskel and Ebert that they had all that. We need to start this today with Mr. Movie Connoisseur, the mayor of 417, Ken Childers. You went and saw a movie recently. What was the name of that movie and the director, sir?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood by Quentin Tarantino.
Wow, that's a heavy statement.
Man.
Quentin Tarantino.
I wish I had that name.
Everybody move a little closer to their
kidding,
microphones.
Right?
I mean, my gosh.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's such an awkward-looking person, but his name is so cool.
Right. It is.
Oh, Quentin Tarantino, I think, if we go back, let's just talk about that in itself, that we
Oh,
knew
man.
that there's a movie that was one of Quentin Tarantino's, it's a new homage to something. I mean, he has given an homage to so many things. You go back to Django, and then you move back to, of course, Pulp Fiction.
The
And
Kill
you-
Bill volumes.
The Kill Bill volumes.
Great movies, very gory.
Jackie Brown.
Jackie
Jackie-
Brown was amazing. I mean, my favorite's Reservoir Dogs. still to this
Reservoir
day.
Dogs.
Inglorious Bastards. is
Inglorious
mine.
Bastards was a great movie too.
862-9977.
There's one movie I haven't liked of his, so that says a lot because there's a lot of directors where you're like, on some of them, but Quentin Tarantino's always come through, and to develop a team like he did on this movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and
What
Brad
was the
Pitt,
one? Oh,
it's
it
a
was
power couple. I call
Dusk
them.
Till Dawn.
Dusk Till Dawn was a great.
That
movie.
was
He didn't
fantastic.
direct that one, though.
That was
Rodriguez.
Yeah, that was
Robert
Rodriguez.
But he had his cameo.
wrote it.
He did have
Right.
a cameo, yeah.
Yep.
The flavor.
Hey, speaking of which, Grady Boland's in the house to help us talk about movies today. I want to ask everybody to call in because we're going to talk about movies here for about the next, 5 to 10 minutes. And if anyone has seen the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or just want to chime in about Quentin Tarantino or anything, just call in 862-9977 here in the 417 or star 56 on your cell phone. Right now, give us a holler. We'd love to talk to you and bring you in this conversation. Grady Boland, you've seen the movie, yeah?
I have seen.
Okay.
The movie, yeah, just last week, and it's definitely a must see for sure. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so tell us the premise is obviously in the name Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Tell us what it's about. Is it about a certain director, an actor? It follows an actor, correct?
Follows an actor by the name
No
of-
spoilers.
Yes.
I promise.
Yeah, we
Okay.
already
Okay.
Grady and I already promised we
Connoisseurs
weren't
do
gonna
not
drop
like
the-
giving
we
spoilers.
will not.
No
We
spoilers.
will not. Follows an actor by the name of Rick Dalton, a
Oh.
1950s television star who, after the show was canceled, has had a hard time making the transition through the 60s and finding steady work. You know, he gets bit parts and westerns and things like that. His show was called Bounty Law.
Bounty Law.
Bounty Law.
Now you can hear
Remember
me.
Yes.
that? Yeah, yeah.
Back in the 50s, and so his stunt double is his best friend Cliff, and that's Brad Pitt. So
Okay.
Leonardo is Rick Dalton, and Brad Pitt.
That was a good pick too.
I want to talk
I mean,
about.
they fit in perfect.
Now, Grady, you were in California, probably in the era or somewhere in the area. What about the clothes? That's my first question. Let's talk about the wardrobe and the vehicles, especially the vehicles, since you're the pimp juice guy. Tell me about some of the favorite cars and outfits that you saw on these guys
Pretty
in this
legit.
movie, because that's one thing I'm really excited about is just the whole vision of it and the feel and the
vision is
leather
the coolest
and the
part.
plaid
And
and, the
Quentin
big
Tarantino
collars
has to hit it on
and
the
the
head,
music's
too,
got to be
so.
great
The
too.
music.
But let's hear from Grady.
Yeah, the era. That's one of the things that I really enjoyed. It kind of brought me back a little bit because I was born right in that. I was like 69, so this is like portrayed in 68, I believe. So all the vehicles were back in the day. All the hippie clothes were back in the day. Most of it was pretty spot on. You know, they kind of flipped it because of the whole Once Upon a Time thing, but you'll just have to go see it. But it was really good.
What was
I
your
think
favorite
it's-
vehicle that you remember? Like first top of mind. I mean, there's some cool looking cars, but one must have said, "Oh,
Yeah,
because I've
The
got this
Cadillac,
dream."
the-
Yeah, probably the old caddy.
Yeah,
you know,
Rick's
that's probably my
drop top
favorite. Yeah,
caddy.
Rick's.
See, I'm
Rick's,
big on those fastback Mustangs, so I mean, I'm thinking.
Well,
I'm
this
gonna
is
see
Hollywood, though, right? So,
But
Yeah, back in the day, the big boat caddy. You know, that was the thing. You know, the big.
you made it if you had
yeah,
one of those,
you know,
right?
you had to have the big caddy.
and you had to show it off. It's California
And
weather.
you, and you
Kinda
think
like
it's
Elvis.
You kind of see you see Brad or Cliff driving it, and you're like, oh, that's his. That's not his car. That's Rick's car.
Yeah.
Poor Brad, he was driving an old beat up Carmen Ghia, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was an old
That
Carmen
VW
Ghia,
Carmen
kind of a
looked like
poor man's
hell.
Porsche, I
You're
guess
like,
you call it.
Poor man's Porsche,
You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
is that what you just called the Carmen Ghia?
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry if you own one, but it's really that's what it is.
I've had
But,
friends with those.
You
I
know,
know that.
it's a step.
It is.
It's a
Well, it
step.
still meant something because by the time we were in the 90s and our friends in high school had a Carmen Ghia, it was like, that's freaking
But
cool.
Brad
man.
Well,
Pitt,
that's
you know,
'cause
he
you live
could
in
drive about
Springfield.
anything, I guess. you know, it'd be
Springfield's only
cool.
10 years behind on everything.
Yes,
so.
that's what I was
Carmen
thinking.
Ghia was cool by then because you saw it in movies at that point, right?
point.
So, but it looks like we got a caller here. Is this Gary? Is this the pirate Gary?
Yeah, this is the pirate Gary.
Garr.
Hey,
How
Gary.
y'all doing?
Good, man. How's things going? How's the eye?
Oh, it feels like someone punched me in it, you know, and
We can arrange
I can't
that.
see anything out of it. But yeah, no. I mean, I see light, but that's all I see. You can put your finger right at your face and see the round fingers.
So what's your recovery time looking like?
hopefully I may be there next week. Mary's going to punch me in that side. She's got a side she can sneak up and slap me on now.
She's got a mean right hook, man. Watch out.
Yes, she does.
Well,
You
Gary,
gotta
we're
watch
so
out
glad
for it.
we're so glad to hear from you. Did you you heard about us talking about this movie, and you were around
Yes,
in the
I've been
'60s, right?
listening
You
the
were
whole
you were in the
show,
military
and
around that.
I would love to have gone seen it, but with one eye, it makes it tough. You know?
It's a little difficult, yes.
I think you should wait, Gary. Wait for DVD.
I will say
Netflix,
that we'll
maybe.
be around for a while, and it sounds excellent. But I just wanted to shout and say hey to everybody.
Yeah, man.
So.
Thanks for calling in, Gary. We appreciate you, and
Matt,
hopefully.
I heard you guys. Yeah, no, Matt, I haven't had the facelift. What I did is got your hairstyle. I had them implant your hair.
Oh, good, good. I wish I could
you
give
know,
this mop away to some people. You know, guys like you that
Oh,
need
don't
it a little
say
bit.
that.
I wish I could give implants away.
I'm
Maybe I
watching
could
on
do that.
Facebook Live, so I know that we have a few shiny heads helping me out today. So.
Oh, yeah.
You just-
In honor,
We're backing
Gary.
you,
Wow.
Gary.
In honor. Yes.
We're in with you.
Shiny
I'll
heads.
let you guys go. Hopefully
right.
there'll be someone to call in.
Hey, thanks, brother.
talking to you
Appreciate
guys.
you calling, man. Take it easy.
Well, you know, this would be kind of interesting. He called you, Ken Childers, and you, Mr. Grady Bowen, the Shiny Heads. Maybe we're going to have the Shiny Head movie review here on, and we could actually polish you guys up, and we could
possible.
really
Is
really
it-
do
Well,
that
I
big
am
action.
in the shiny business, so
Is it derogatory?
through and through,
I mean,
so
are you guys sensitive
fits
about
me.
it? Are we
Hip juice.
okay with
No,
it?
if it means free tickets to the Alamo, bring it. I'm good. I'll review whatever you want.
there you go. Sign
Yeah,
me
no
up.
kidding.
We could get
Exactly.
Grady out in the parking lot of the Alamo and get some of those old cars and people to come and try his
right.
products.
Hey, we got connections.
We're going to be
decals.
talking here
Never
after
know
the
what
break
we're
about
gonna
that.
have.
But okay,
Arrange
let's get
that.
back to the review, guys.
Okay.
We got off track.
Real quick,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, so we were in 1968. We were
Nine.
in the 69,
1969,
which
so
is the
the
year
war is going on.
Yeah.
Vietnam's
Well,
going on.
We landed on the moon. There were Cadillac boats floating around.
Marilyn Monroe's a
And-
big deal.
And okay, let's get down to this part that is Quentin Tarantino.
Okay.
We know that the people out there listening to a true movie review are like, okay, was it as good as when we anticipate
That's the hardest part.
Quentin Tarantino putting his effort. Now, I had questions about Django. When I first saw Django Unchained, right? I loved it. I loved the characters. But when it got to that one scene where they were shooting out everybody in that house,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the way they did the blood effects,
Oh my god.
at first I didn't buy it so much. I was like, oh, God, Quentin, you kind of like.
It was like Kill Bill
but then,
too for me. Yeah.
But then I saw it again. I was like, I totally appreciate
No,
what
it was
he
a
did for the
great scene.
when you can touch something.
Yeah, you almost feel like-
viscosity
Yeah,
of a scene,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right,
I
Grady?
think you have to watch his movies more than once to catch
Yes.
it all,
I
agree.
really, because it's so in depth, that one doesn't get it,
Nope.
even if you're really paying
Well,
attention.
so give us the premise real quick, Ken. I mean, what
The
was
premise
the premise
is
of
that
it?
Rick Dalton,
Right.
Leo
No, the-
DiCaprio, is looking for work, and he has an opportunity. The movie is spread over 2 days. 2 days in February, and then 6 months later.
Okay, that's
okay,
it.
and
Wow.
it follows the two.
All right, well
Heroes,
let's
all
find
right?
out what your official movie review was. Now, how are we going to rank this, guys? Should we make it like an A, B, C, D? We should give it like a I don't know.
How many shiny bald heads out of 5?
Do we have any bald head emojis?
Wait a minute.
I don't.
Are we talking?
Certainly, huh? We got 2.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me. I've already rated it on IMDb right after watching it, Internet Movie Database, and
Oh.
I gave it a flat 10 stars.
Nice.
Let me tell you why.
Okay.
Because people are like, "Oh, it did this and oh, it did that." No. It says it right there in the title. Once upon a time.
Right.
In Hollywood.
So it's somewhat of a fantasy.
It is, and
Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Because there's no spoiler
Yes, please.
ruining right here.
Yeah.
But I think it's important because it is the time when the large, big studio farms that used to, rule the roost in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, they are falling down.
Okay.
They are falling down all around. The independents are coming. The Easy Riders are coming. The hippies are coming. The war is happening.
hippies are coming.
All these things are happening. And the people that are used to that during that time period, the 70s are about to break. And it is so different. And they're having a hard time judging.
Yeah.
So Rick Dalton has an opportunity to go be in spaghetti westerns.
Oh, right.
Big deal
Yes.
at the time. Yeah.
So that's what his main thing is. Do I do this? Do I not? I'm going to do this show.
It's kind of a transition time for
Total
for
transition.
everybody.
Yeah,
including
for
him.
everybody.
Yeah,
but
for
it puts
everything.
it really on them
Yeah.
right then, And then the whole reference to real life, actual history events. That is the coolest part. Along with the fact that every prop in there is spot on 1969.
Right.
Every
Definitely.
car, every hairspray
Spawn
can,
Ranch, the
every
whole thing,
food,
yeah.
every reference, every piece of neon. It is
I was going to say all the
perfect.
lots where they filmed all this stuff and everything too.
They had to
be
shut
pretty
down
dark.
whole parts of the highway.
Wow.
And can you
Definitely,
imagine how
yeah.
many cars were
Well, in
involved?
L.A., I mean,
Oh,
it's
my
like 6-lane
God.
traffic,
I know.
so that's like a feat right
It was
there.
a big deal. So they spared
Until
no
everybody heard it was
expense.
Quentin Tarantino and Brad Pitt
it's
and
okay.
Leo.
Well, I guess when Brad Pitt comes to town, you can do these things.
Exactly,
you
if they're
know.
going to pull that. But I mean, everything was. My wife and I really enjoyed most of the detail to 1969 Hollywood.
That's cool.
It was spot on.
Well, to me, what's
Definitely.
intriguing about what you just shared is the reality of what the entertainment industry was going through then, which reflected in so many different areas. I mean, I start thinking about around that time is Saturday Night Live. Around that time is the freedom of expression, breaking away from the
gosh,
June
yeah.
Cleavers and
The Gomer Pyles and-
the cookie cutter like movies. I mean, I was watching, sadly, Bravo. Okay, all those women that might be listening, let's admit we watch Bravo, and the girls that were in the Space Mountain series, right? Their parents were the actors in this era, and they were, the old Disney Space Mountain movies and all of that. So they kind of witnessed it, and that there was an infiltration of the political movements at the time,
Oh,
with
so
with
many.
the sexual revolution, with
Women's
the
suffrage,
climate. Women's suffrage was
Well,
way earlier
it's
than that.
Getting more and
we
more
could
in
already
Hollywood.
vote.
Well, you're getting more in Hollywood. You're getting more in politics and stuff like that. Plus race wars.
That's
going on
equality,
and
not
things like
suffrage.
that.
At that, but what I'm saying is that it's if Quentin did that well to encapsulate the effects of and isolating a story about a Hollywood story that really takes in that whole climate. That's really interesting. That's what it sounds like you're saying that was happening. The infiltration of the standard, the status quo, the way that
changing
it
of the
always
status
been
quo.
done.
Yes. One of the coolest things is if you go see a movie also, and I know people, there's it's showing on multiple theater screens, but if you go to the Alamo Drafthouse Cinema, get there 30 minutes early.
Okay.
Why? Because at Alamo, they give you a 30-minute dedicated program to the movie you're about ready to watch. So the background, and you get to know just how big a film geek Quentin Tarantino is because you saw previews from these horrible B-movie films and stuff like that
good.
inspired him to inspire
so
to
he
be
sent
Rick
out
Dalton.
a preview package of what
Well,
you watched
I mean, it's
before, or
they
just
Alamo
puts that on. They're
Alamo puts that
proprietary
on ahead of
about that,
time.
yeah.
So what they had was they had an interview with a real life stuntman that spent time on the Spawn Ranch.
Oh my God.
And met Charlie Manson and his followers.
Oh, wow.
And they interviewed that ahead of time. That's in your 30 minutes.
So
before
that
the
shows
show.
in the movie. Then
And that's what we're saying
they've done
about
the
how-
background
But
research
that's what,
for
and
sure.
that's why I love the Alamo so much is because they immerse you in everything as far as like the menu typically on some big movies. But this stuff beforehand, the previews, the things that they do otherwise with the big events,
Yeah.
love it all. Thank you so much for your
It's
review.
official.
That's
It's
huge,
official. It is a
man.
10 shiny bald head rating.
10.
I'm sorry, it's
10.
10.
Absolutely 10.
That's
It's
good.
10.
So there's 10 bald men.
And a recommendation to watch it twice because you're
Yeah,
gonna miss stuff
absolutely.
the
Yeah, I'll
first
have to go to
time.
the Alamo
There
this
you go.
time. We went
Yeah.
to the
Go
Hollywood,
twice.
but
Well, there's lots
yeah.
of great movie theaters, and we kind of throw some things
Hollywood-
at Alamo because they've done
Alamo
us some favor with
supports us a
tickets.
lot, so we support
we're
them
gonna
too,
have here
yeah.
and we're not taking a break. We're just going to switch over. We got to switch gears, guys.
Switching gears.
Switching gears.
We can do
Vroom,
it.
vroom, vroom. Let's switch gears. Let's get that revved up. Let's talk about, hey, we're sitting on the front porch and we're just sitting down on Main Street and some guy with a really hot, pimped out car just drove by. That's what we just heard. Let's hear. I think he's coming back around the block. Gene, do you see that car? There he is again.
That's not a Mercedes, though.
There he is again. I'd say that's an old muscle car of some kind, wouldn't you? I think it is.
and
we've
I bet
got-
you probably worked on a few of those.
Speaking of an
Yeah,
old
I
muscle
have.
car, speaking of an old muscle man, I was leading in right there, Mr. Graham.
I understand.
You didn't let me get to talking about his muscles through his pimp
Oh,
juice.
I don't talk about dude's muscles.
I
that
don't
would
know.
be weird. Yeah.
That would be weird.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Awkward. See, man.
I don't talk about me. I just was letting you know.
Moving
Well,
on.
Moving on. Grady Bolin is here today, and he is more than just a product. He is a fellow that we know from down in Mountain Grove, Missouri. Grady, what's the name of your primary innovative care? Where there's an actual a brick and mortar business you own down there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we have Jim's Automotive was actually the first business I started here in Missouri when I was like 17.
What?
Yeah, 17 years old.
Who's Jim?
Jim was my dad.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, everybody always asks me that. But yeah, Jim was my dad. And before my last year in high school, we talked about starting this business. And so from there, I at that time, I actually lived in Arizona. So I
What
went.
were you doing in Arizona at 17?
Yeah.
From California.
Yeah,
right?
I was born and raised in Southern California, and then I finished my my last year of high school in Northern California, a place called Paradise.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so I
Sure,
actually
I
lived
went
in
to
Paradise.
Vallejo for a while. My dad
Yeah.
was Navy up that way, so that's beautiful country up there, up in the redwoods.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Paradise. Was it Paradise? Would you say that town was Paradise?
Well, actually, it was more of a retirement community. It was, it was all retirees really when I lived there at that time. And of course, they had the devastating fire there, so it's really it took a
that's
hit.
right.
So we our heart goes out for that. I had some background there, of course, played football for Paradise, but yeah, it was more of where people went to retire and chill out.
And you're young and you're
And
there.
I'm young. I'm 16, and I'm going to Paradise High. I'm a Bobcat there, and I decided to go into business at Jim's Automotive. This was, the concept we had. So we had a guy come in. I had to go to automotive technical school to learn the trade. And so we had a guy sit down in Paradise from, actually it was AAI. It's Arizona Automotive Institute at that time, and talked with myself and my dad, Jim. And so I went straight from there. Didn't take any time off. Went to school in Arizona. It was in Phoenix at the time. And took the technology classes that I needed. And from there, I moved straight to Mountain Grove.
Okay, tell us the most tawdry occurrence of your high school year. Something that you don't tell everybody. Tell us something deep about yourself. About who Grady is. I mean, you seem to be extremely motivated. You seem to have great ideas, and that's wonderful. But there's got to be something that makes you human. Like, tell us something that pops in your mind.
Yeah. So, I'm human, of course. I'm sitting here, but really what was instilled in me early on that I still use today, my dad was the reason we wound up in California, my dad was a Marine Corps drill sergeant. So that's how we wound up. He's from Fort Worth, Texas. So we actually had the idea to go back to Fort Worth to start this business. So that was kind of the initial plan. But discipline was instilled in me early on. So if you know anything about the Marine Corps and definitely old school Texas Marine Corps discipline, so I didn't get away with a whole lot. Which at the time, it was I never had a problem with it, and today it's paying off big time.
Yeah, you still make your bed every day, I'm sure, right?
Yeah,
but
still
at that time,
do it all.
how did you, as a 16-year-old kid, deal with the drill sergeant for a father?
Wow. I followed the same.
Were you in a kind of a you glommed on, or did you reject?
No,
Did you
actually,
rebel?
I hooked on because
better glom on.
Yeah,
too.
no, it really wasn't that
it's
bad.
Tough being,
it wasn't that bad because
that's
my
good.
dad told me about the story when he joined the Marine Corps that most people, they would make their life a living hell. They're trying to weed people out, especially during Hell Week training. And he said, if you do your job and you're squared away, everything's fine. Never have any trouble. And he said, if you'll do that in life, Grady, you'll do the same thing. So that's what I've always grabbed
Hey, Matt,
onto.
Let's say it together. Amen to that.
Yeah. It's very simple.
It's a simple process. It never goes out of style. A lot of people think they can, reinvent this process, but really what it boils down to is just small things done well over time.
Yeah.
That's
Small
success.
things done well over time. I think that, I have to just give you kudos and let's thank your dad for his service. Of course, anytime we talk about veterans on Who Do You Know, we make sure to send that out. Now, is your dad with us still?
No, he has passed away. He's been
Right.
gone for several years. But yeah, we had a good run. We were together at Jim's Automotive every day for 20 years.
Wow.
So that was another feat because everybody used to ask me, especially being, from California moving to here at that point, it was a big change, for a 17-year-old. It was a big change.
What brought you guys to Mountain Grove?
That's really weird. I always
of
tell
all
people.
places, right?
I used to tell
Every
people
time, of
I'm
all
in the witness
places.
protection program. So
Right, that's what I would think, yeah.
Because there was no other reason. Because I have no family that was here at the time.
I remember that.
Yeah, I
You
kind
get
of look
dropped
like
there.
that type of guy, so I could make that fly. But no, we actually just were heading back to Texas. And we were coming up, or I wasn't. I was still in school. My family was, my mom and dad and my sister. And they stopped in Mountain Grove just overnight in an RV park. And they started looking at property, as you know how that works, right? And they
Yes,
found a
thank you for
place
that.
that they liked, and they sent me.
They followed their heart, and here it was.
Yeah,
it sounds
and
like.
it was
Yeah.
weird. I mean, actually, no roots, no people here. I mean, it's just a weird thing.
Well, it's pretty here, though. I mean, the topography is pretty.
Yeah.
The people are nice.
But when
and
they
it's small
sent me
town.
a message and said that we were going to live on Spotted Hog Road, and I'm sitting here 16 years old, laying by the pool, going to the beach, and I'm thinking, wait, what now? I think I understood
leg
you
are you pulling?
Did you say
incorrectly.
Spotted
He
That's what I
did.
said.
Road, Mom?
Verify that, please. Roger that.
Hey, Mama, what are we going to name this road? Well, I don't know. There's a
Yeah,
spotted hog.
Spotted Hog
exactly
in
it.
Norwood,
And it's not
Missouri.
like you had Googled
I'm
it
like,
to tell you where Spotted
where
Hog
is this
Road
at?
was.
Believe it or not, when I flew into Springfield for the first time, I thought it was small.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, wait a minute, this is not where we're setting up business in Springfield, right? This is kind of small. And they said, well, just wait till you see Mountain Grove. And I'm like, oh, okay, it gets better.
Now that's back out. That's
It
back
gets a
out
lot
East
better.
60, right? Like if you're going out towards West Plains, and we're talking about Mountain Grove.
We're
out
talking
at
where they
60.
name things Spotted Hog. I'll tell you, when I first
could
got
be a
into
lot of
business,
places.
of course, I didn't know anybody. Everybody, knew that, I wasn't from here and whatever. So we had to struggle with that. But the way they gave me directions to their house to go pick their car up was, okay, Bill Jones, right? And I'm like, not really. Well, do you know, Martha Stewart or whatever? And I'm like, no, don't know her either.
Not the
And-
famous one.
We got
our
famous
own
one.
Martha
We got
Stewart.
our own
Well, you
Martha
don't take
Stewart.
a left at her house. You're going down to Jim's house.
And
down
literally, they would give me directions like, okay, you go down this road where the barn burnt down a year ago, and
Right.
turn left at the Ozark Trail where the Angus bull's usually standing at the corner.
Bingo.
And I'm like, I really don't know where that's at. You got like
But I'll keep an
Google
eye out
Maps
for an
or
Angus
something.
bull, I
Of course,
guess.
they didn't have it at that
North,
point, but
Yeah.
anyway, it was fun. It was fun. It was a process, but we
so
got
you guys
to
had
know.
this shop for 20 plus years.
Yeah, together we started out from ground zero there. We rented a little place in Mountain Grove, and for like the first 5-6 years, and we outgrew that, so we built the facility where we're at now, a big 5,000 square foot service center. is what it
5,000
is.
square foot.
You're a staple
service
of
center.
Mountain Grove, then, if that's the case.
Oh
You're
yeah,
one of the
yeah.
bigger
We
businesses.
call Mountain Grove's definitely home. I mean, my kids they grew up there, and it's a great place. I mean, it's really a good place to live. But it took some adjustment, like anything. But no, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Well,
The
let-
Ozarks are one of the one of the
Yes.
best places on earth.
Love
really,
it.
they really
Absolutely.
are.
There is something magical about the Ozarks, and thank you for being one of our Ozarks neighbors and contributing as a
yeah,
sponsor.
definitely. Thanks for
Because
having
we really
us.
want to give a really focused moment to you developed Pimp Juice, which is a formulated car care system that if right now go to your Facebook page here, are we taking a break, Gene, in 1 minute and 42 seconds? Is that appropriate? Okay, we're going to do that. So get ready to look on Facebook. We're going to have the links to pimpjuicecarcare.com, where today Mr. Grady Bolin is going to give 40% off, right?
It's a good day. Yeah, good day to get it. 40% off.
40%
the retail.
off. So when you're pulling your boats out of the water here in the next few weeks, when you're getting
Wave
that car-
runners, RVs.
Yeah, tell us about
vehicles,
what the-
yeah.
Your
just-
trucks that you've been pulling these
Trucks.
with.
Tell
all
us
the
why
years.
people should
trailers.
go on for this product right now, because you got exactly 1 minute for your good elevator speech. Just all about Pimp Juice, and then we'll come back talk some more.
Yeah,
Okay?
for sure. So, in a nutshell, basically how we pitch it, and it's awesome being part of the Ozarks. We manufacture world class cleaning and detailing products that are made in Missouri and sold to the world. So, if you want 40% off today, I would go to pimpjuicecarcare.com right now before they run out of that special offer.
I'm going there right now.
Now, what does it do for your vehicle that is a little better than others? Give us some of the top 2-3
Yeah,
things.
so we get that question asked a lot.
You can go to
what
Walmart
makes us
and buy these
different?
things, right? So just
yeah, the main thing that we do is we make your life a lot easier by you get professional quality with less effort, and that's what everybody's
You
looking
got a
for.
lot of videos that show that in all of
Yeah,
our...
absolutely.
If you'd go onto Facebook or just onto Google and type in "Who do you know in 417-MO," we've been sharing a lot of the videos that Grady has made. That there's an online exclusive flash sale today only.
You'll
It's
see
a
it right on the
secret-
front page. Right
It is
there.
right there. You can see it.
one-click order.
Type in hashtag "Who do you know in 417-MO," the weekly variety show here on KWTO 560 AM and 93.3 FM.
From the Ozarks News Network, this is your 3:30 report. 2 people are in serious condition after a shooting in Springfield. Police say they responded to the 1300 block of South Estate Avenue on a report of an assault and gunshots. When officers arrived, they found 2 victims. No suspects have been arrested so far. 2 students are dead in a rollover crash near Willow Springs. 17-year-old Zachary White lost control of his vehicle at high speed, shot off Highway 181 and flipped over. 16-year-old Jonah Smith was also killed in the crash. Both boys were members of their school's football team. And a man who sexually abused 3 girls in his neighborhood has been sentenced to 40 years in prison. 52-year-old Jason Lawson was found guilty on 3 counts of statutory sodomy, statutory rape, and child molestation. Lawson's 3 victims were between the ages of 8 and 10. For the Ozarks News Network, I'm Arlen Summers.
Thanks for calling the Stockpile. This is Josh.
Hey, Josh. My grandpa just left me a bunch of really unusual firearms, ammo, precious metals, collectibles, and really odd antiques. I hear you pay the most in the area for precious metals, but can you tell me what these other items might be worth?
Absolutely. Please bring any items of value into the Stockpile. Antiques Gun and Pawn, located next to Murphin's Market in Clever, Missouri.
Hi, this is Grady Bolin, CEO of Innovative Car Care Products, made locally in Mountain Grove, Missouri. World-class cleaning and detailing products that clean, polish, and protect. Our motto is world-class detailing products made in Missouri, sold to the world. Go to pimpjuicecarcare.com and receive 40% off today.
Welcome back to Who Do You Know in 417-MO. I'm Jennifer Laney, the singing real estate agent with Murney Associates. For all your real estate needs, you know where to find me. Just Google the singing real estate agent. And if you need to get a loan, you definitely want to talk to Matt Graham over at Springfield First Community Bank. He's put together some loan packages for some clients of mine. But we can talk about that when we're not on the radio. We want to talk about Grady Bolin, and he's got a product that I just love to say on the radio. It is for your vehicle. It makes it look gorgeous. It makes you feel like a pimp.
Like a pimp.
Like a pimp. It's called Pimp Juice.
What better name? I mean, I don't know. First of all, how'd you find this name? How'd you come up with this name? You didn't find it. You came up with it.
Yeah, we came up with it and actually trademarked it.
Are you a pimp?
Trademark
Pimp
Juice.
This is a good time to clarify what a pimp. Everybody wants to be a pimp.
But these days, it's not quite the same connotation.
It's not really what you think. You know, a lot of people are freaking out right now. It's not trading sex for money, which it can be, but that's not the business we're in.
Right? It's not a lubricant except for your vehicle.
But the pimp,
Your tires, maybe.
Yeah, the pimp is a positive, intellectual, motivated person.
Oh my
now,
gosh.
everybody wants to be a
It's
pimp.
an
See,
acronym.
right?
Okay, let's
That's-
say that again
okay,
very slowly.
Pimp. This is how we
Pimp
come up with it.
stands for, it's an acronym
Pimp. Yeah,
for.
it's an acronym. It's a positive,
Yes.
intellectual,
Uh-huh.
motivated
Uh-huh.
person.
Which defines you. I watch you, and you have some serious motivation. We're going to talk about the products in detail, but I want to take 30 seconds. How do you do it? Every day I see these messages that you send, and you're trying to communicate, and it must be the way you live, and you get out and run, and tell us, how do you do it?
Yeah. So back to the base again. It's basically just discipline, and whether it's working out, taking care of your body, or business, it's all relative.
Absolutely.
And the thing about it is, hopefully, I know we're talking about products today, and we're going to talk about products in the other shows. But really, what I want to get across to people today is, you know, anything that I'm talking to you about, or if you're saying, "Wow, that's pretty cool," I have done nothing that you can't do. You know, it's nothing special that I do. And really the stuff that I do every day is just stuff that people won't do. You know, like get up at 4 and work out and run, and go home after work and run again and work out.
So you just see problems, and there's just automatic solutions, and you take action. And
yeah.
So you saw a need in your business that there was a lack of products. And now, Matt, I would really love you guys know a lot more about this car stuff than little old me.
I'm telling you.
So I'm going to let the guys, I know that sounds sexist. It's not that.
excited.
I'm just a dingbat when it comes to this
Well,
stuff.
I'm super excited about all of this that you're talking about, because I try to be a positive force for people in my life. No, I'm not getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and running, but I do know where you're coming from, because clarity comes in those times so that you're doing this stuff for yourself and
Absolutely.
being out in nature and doing all this stuff. So when you came up with this Pimp Juice, it was out of a need. Tell us about the need real quick.
Yeah, so the need was we were using all our now, which would be our competitors' products at the Gems Automotive, which I described. We were doing professional detailing, custom cars, all these things. So we were using products that were on the market, and we could not get a product that satisfied our customer. We would get
Who
customer.
formulated it? Where did it get formulated?
Yeah, so I formulated the problem. I'm actually the formulator, the owner, the designer, the brander. I'm basically everybody.
So you understand the chemical compounds that go into
Yeah,
doing this.
yeah. We actually we own all the formulations and everything. So
That's
it's
amazing. That's amazing.
We started out doing it in Mountain Grove, and we just did it for ourselves. Right. And like I spoke before, that we wanted to lower overhead cost, improve profitability for Gems Automotive,
Which means
then,
people coming back to the
yeah, obviously return customers
to fix things too, though. That
yeah,
these other products were lacking.
Exactly.
Right?
So a little bit watered down type of thing. So we did it. We never had a site in mind that we were going to full blown manufacture like we're doing now in distribution and scaling the company.
Right. But you're ready for that now.
But yeah, we're actually that's why we're here
right.
today.
And
you know,
so the products that you have, I see, are glass cleaner, which is impossible to find.
Right.
Ultra high gloss tire shine and interior dressing for leather and for dashes and things like that.
Right.
You've got a mega all-purpose concentrated cleaner, which is for
Oh yeah, that is like for any type of cleaning, inside or out. The bugs on your your grill,
tires, carpet,
tires,
upholstery,
yeah,
grease.
just any type of degreasing or cleaning. That stuff is the bomb.
And
so in other words, you guys are the 417 Armor All. You are the like.
Yeah, we're
better
Armor
than
All
that
on steroids, basically in a 417 land.
Well, because a lot of this stuff is
Bingo.
concentrate, I'm seeing, and this is a car and truck wash. So you have everything from just the wash to then all of the detailing. So you're sending your detail shop out to the masses.
Right.
That's
basically,
so great.
Yeah.
Well, Grady, we want to thank you for being on Who Do You Know today. We didn't want to spend a lot of time on the specifics of the product because we wanted to show who you are and why people can trust you.
But while we're at it,
with
hit
their
juicecarcare.com. Get
it's
your,
all
your
over
coupon,
Facebook.
half
Let me
bu-
close
half
it out,
price.
and they can go to Facebook,
You
Maddie.
got
We've
it.
got 13 seconds, 12, because we just got
that's
too
easy.
much to say. We hope you'll come back in a few weeks and visit it every 3 p.m. on Wednesday time here at Who Do You Know in 417 Nemo with Jen and Matt. We see you next week.
I'm Rasa Kay with your Money Now. Chinese state-run media says the